أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Most Merciful. In today's episode, we will be examining the 6th chapter from the Holy Quran, Al-An'am, or the livestock, with 165 verses. This chapter was revealed in the holy city of Makkah, and it appears as though this chapter was revealed in the very last days of the settlement of the Prophet Muhammad in the holy city of Mecca, right before he migrated to the city of Medina and established an Islamic state and empowered the Muslim community after they had seen so much injustice and tyranny and execution in the holy city of Mecca. The Meccans were extremely brutal, merciless. They chased every Muslim and they killed them. And they took away all their goods and they stripped them away from all their wealth until they excommunicated them and surrounded them in a small village known as Sha'b Abu Talib, and they wouldn't sell them any food and they wouldn't let them engage in any sort of trade. A complete excommunication, a complete embargo. They sacrificed so much. So many of them were killed. So many of them lost their families and lost their friends. Why is God not answering them? Why is God not giving them a solution? Why do they keep suffering? The Prophet Muhammad says, "There was no chapter descended onto me that came with so many angels. نزلت في جملة واحدة وشيعها 70,000 ملك بالتسبيح والتهليل والتكبير فمن قرأها سبحوا وهللوا وكبروا له إلى يوم القيامة." The Prophet Muhammad says, this chapter was revealed all at once with 70,000 angels, and amongst them the greatest of angels, Gabriel. And they were all glorifying God, and whoever then recites this chapter with understanding, with being inspired, with faith, then they will glorify God on His behalf until the Day of Judgment. Therefore, an extremely important chapter, and a chapter that holds an extremely important spiritual position for those who seek spirituality from the Quran. And there are many traditions from the Prophet Muhammad and the household of the Prophet Muhammad that tell us this is the role of this chapter. It is a chapter that is so beloved to God that once we recite this chapter and we ask God for our legitimate prayers, then it is granted. And there is a special prayers that involves this chapter that I don't have time into giving its details, but after the prayer is done, then Imam Sadiq says, raise your hand and say, Ya Kareem, Ya Kareem, Ya Kareem, Ya Azim, Ya Azim, Ya Azim, O the generous, O the Almighty. Then ask in the name of this chapter, Surah Al-An'am, and God will grant you. Therefore, it was descended with 70,000 angels. It has such a position. It must have amazing content, and indeed it does. And we will take a look at what this chapter has to offer to us very quickly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the 32nd chapter says, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ. This life is meaningless. This life is so short. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then the hereafter is what will remain eternal. O Muslims, don't look at those people living the life today. Tomorrow is the hereafter. The hereafter belongs to those who are godly. This is the first portion of the message. Then Allah says, speaking to the Prophet, قَدْ نَعْلَمْ إِنَّهُ لَيَحْزُنُكَ الَّذِي يَقُولُونَ. O the Prophet Muhammad, we know that it saddens you what they say about you, how they accuse you, how they fight you, how they belittle you. We know what goes on in your heart. We know it saddens you because you have amazing intentions. فَإِنَّهُمْ لَا يُكَذِّبُونَكَ. They will not discredit you. They will not turn you into a liar by calling you a liar. They will not change reality. وَلَكِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ يَجْحَدُونَ. But there are some people who will fight the signs of God. Their war is with God. It's not with you. And because you are the messenger of God, then you are hurt. Then Allah says, وَلَقَدْ كُذِّبَتْ رُسُلٌ مِّن قَبْلِكَ. Many prophets before you were also accused. فَصَبَرُوا. And they were patient. They had sabr. عَلَى مَا كُذِّبُوا وَأُوذُوا حَتَّى أَتَاهُمْ نَصْرُنَا وَلَا مُبَدِّلَ لِكَلِمَاتِ اللَّهِ. They were patient until the victory came from God, and God gave them victory. Meaning, O Muslims, remember, this is the last days in Mecca. Allah is now giving them signs that soon they will be liberated. Soon they will be given their victory. Then Allah says, Ya Rasulullah, those Muslims, those mu'mins who are struggling, in the 54th ayah, وَإِذَا جَاءَكَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِآيَاتِنَا. If those people come to you that believe in Islam, فَقُلْ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ. Tell them, peace be unto you. كَتَبَ رَبُّكُمْ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ الرَّحْمَةِ. Your Lord, the one that you worship, has written mercy and prescribed mercy upon himself. إِنَّهُ مَنْ عَمِلَ مِنْكُمْ سُوءًا بِجَهَالَةٍ ثُمَّ تَابَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ وَأَصْلَحَ فَإِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. And know that your God, your Lord, your Creator is the most compassionate, most forgiving. And the 59th verse, and this is what we will conclude with, unfortunately, because of lack of time, is an ayah that we recite in one of the beautiful salats, the recommended salat al-Ghufayla between Maghrib and Isha. And within there we recite this ayah.
وعنده مفاتح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو ويعلم ما في البر والبحر وما تسقط من ورقة إلا يعلمها ولا حبة في ظلمات الأرض ولا رطب ولا يابس إلا في كتاب مبين.
Which speaks of the knowledge, the unlimited knowledge of Allah. And why is it that we read it in our Ghufayla prayers, a prayer that is meant to help us get our prayers answered? It's because such an ayah, brothers and sisters, detaches me from the dunya. I should not have hope in my boss and those for a raise and for a better job and a better income. Yes, I work and I have good relationships and I do whatever I need to do in order to, but it's not them and it's not me. It is Allah that gives us this and grants us with rizq and bounties. And therefore, when we read those ayat and we contemplate on them, we then will see the most beautiful fruits. I ask you to keep on contemplating on this beautiful chapter. And until I meet you next time, Assalamu alaikum.